Sorry it looks so dry. It's the middle of the day, so the colors to me look really nice and bright and pretty and green, but to you they look kind of yellow and stark. We need to put 2 more stakes out here for the apricot and the cherry. That one stake isn't cutting it for it. It needs just a tiny bit more support. And this is the asparagus bed. The bindweed is trying to take over, and it's done that in the past, and the asparagus just kind of handles it. What I do is when I cut down the asparagus ferns, I just put more fertilizer and mulch over the top, and for most of the season, I mean, you know, it's July now, and the asparagus is going to seed just like it's supposed to. And yeah, the bindweed's kind of coming on. I think I will probably come in here and rescue some trees from it. But then again, maybe I won't. I don't really know. Here is where the pig was, and she had dug several very large trenches with her little nose, and we had just put a lot of straw on it. And what I did is I had taken all this wood and dumped it in here because I was going to do kind of a hugel bed, and I was using it to keep her from getting under the fence. But the water's flowing kind of backwards and in the wrong directions and not soaking in very well. So what I've done, this space especially had a big hole. So I took my wood that was back here that was either old nasty wood or a strange shape so that Mr. Dirt wouldn't be able to cut it or it wouldn't fit in the stove, and it was just old wood. And I put it in those holes, and then now here's my horse manure mulch that's mixed with sawdust, and I've covered that. So now I can walk over it, and you'd never know that underneath that is 2 feet of wood, just like this. So this was a smaller hole, and I have filled in with these little bits of wood, like a hugel bed, and then I come, and as I find a spot where I can't walk very easily, I'll dump mulch to cover it. And I've watered once since I did that, and I was worried that the mulch would wash away, but it didn't wash away. So I'm going to continue out this way, and it's kind of nice. I'm picking up garbage and pulling fence stakes out, and it will cover in with weeds and grass, but I'm okay with that. It's just vegetation. And a lot of our trees are doing really well back here. They finally are getting enough water, and the voles aren't coming back. For one thing, they're not coming back because they don't like pig manure. There's a lot of pig manure in here, and I'm sure they don't like the smell. So not only is the pig manure keeping the voles out, but every time I water, the pig manure dissolves a little bit and fertilizes things. Like, look how good our willow is doing. It's never looked as nice as it does this year. So that water's percolating out that way through the pig manure to the tree as well. The only thing is our roses are tough enough to handle the drought. They don't grow much, but they handle the drought. But when I finally get enough water to them, they don't have enough nitrogen, and that's kind of a downer. They turn yellow. I have to give them some pretty intense fertilizer if I want them to get big and green. Okay, so over here, I wanted to show you while I was still thinking about it. These are the clove currants, and they have fruit on them. And I wanted to show you our cherries and our honeyberries are still alive, except for the one that the ducks ate it from the roots. I watered them without rabbit manure one time, and see how they turned brown and kind of yellow? For some reason, that rabbit manure in this soil, every watering is essential. I can't just water with regular water, at least in this spot. And the Saskatoons have fruit on them. This one got tromped by a deer. So it has a dead branch in here that is it looks like it's still joined, but it's not joined. So that's what the fruit of Saskatoons look like. And I've got more up in the front. And that is a hollyhock. I've got more up in the front I wanted to show you because they're actually ripe. And this is a Canadian chokecherry, and it has quite a bit of fruit on it. So I just wanted to show you. I also, up here along the tree line, I watered them just with a hose. Like you guys already know, that's how I water them. I use my big tubs, fill them with water, and then I put like a handful of rabbit manure in the bucket every time I water. And then it soaks and it releases its nutrition into the water, but it's not too much fertility. And I have comfrey leaves and nettle leaves in there too to compost down. So every time I water, which is about every 3 days for these guys, sometimes I go as far as once a week, just depending on how they look. I have to walk a bucket of water to them each time. I tried doing it with a hose, and this grape almost died. And so it wasn't a matter of the quantity of water, it was a matter of that they need that rabbit manure with their water every single time. So that grape started to die on me. And then I immediately stopped watering with the hose at that point and started back up with the rabbit manure. And I also have peas in there this year. They're doing good. There's a point to my walking up here. And then I have a wormwood, and I had some Jerusalem artichokes that came back. Yay! And there's my other grape. These are riverbank grapes, and I've got squash planted in there too. Because if I'm going to be giving them water anyway, I might as well be getting food off of them. These are the little plum trees, the little wild plum trees that I got from my neighbor. Isn't their place beautiful? This one started to get crunchy, so instead of giving it 1 bucket of water, when I water, I give it 3. That was one that I also heavily watered with regular water. It was not happy. And here, I irrigated, and my mulberry came back from the ruts. And I've got a squash planted in there and some peas. So right now, instead of watering once a week all day, I'm watering 2 hours a day to get to all the different spots, whether in the back pasture or in the front pasture. There were some spots that were getting missed. This one has started to get a little crunchy, so I'm not really happy about that. I want it to come back and be okay. So I've upped its rabbit water too. This Saskatoon has never borne fruit. I planted it with a squash here the first year, and the squash ate all the nutrition, and so that Saskatoon was stunted. There's my butternut that never thrives. And this is a seaberry. I have 1 male and 2 female seaberries. They don't like too much water, but they need some water. So once again, it's been kind of hard to keep it happy. So this is one of 3 really heavy bearing Saskatoons. Go away, bugs. See what color they are? I don't know. Can you even see that? And they're like a blueberry that tastes a little bit like an apricot. And so last night I was out here picking berries. And they're really good. There's another seaberry. There's another plum. Here's some more Saskatoons. And they're really good. They have a little bit more seed, crunchy seedness than a blueberry. I don't know why the birds don't bother them more. The birds don't seem to bother any of our fruit. I don't know if it's because we have cats, or if it's because our neighbor has more mature bushes than we do, but they never bother ours. And I've got radishes out here that went to seed. When I was watering with the hose off the well, I figured that if I was going to be watering, I might as well get food out of it. So several years ago, I planted radishes and squash out here too. And that's what these little purple and white flowers are. They're radishes. However, they have reverted to wild form. and let's see if I can get one up. They don't form a very good bulb. Those almost look like broccoli. See? No bulb. Anyway, I thought you guys would like to see some of our fruit. The elderberries look really, really good. I wish they were growing just a little bit faster, but it's so hot and I kind of struggle a little bit with energy in the heat. I have all of this lovely manure out in the back from the goats, but it takes me till 10 o'clock in the morning just to get chores done. So by the time I'm done with chores and it's 10 o'clock, it's too hot to be out here. But it would really help if I could get all my manure back here. It would really help the plants, because right now they have plenty of water. But any fertility that's in the soil is kind of being washed out because I'm trying to wash the voles out. And that's the amount of water that I'm putting in it. And if I were to take some of those tablets that are fertilizer tablets for trees, again, because of the quantity of water that I'm pushing through here, it would just dissolve the tablet and it wouldn't have helped the tree at all. So I'll probably just have to do my fertilizing in the winter, put it on as straight manure, and then do that after I'm done with irrigation, and that way as we have snow and thaws, it'll slowly get down into the trees. Back here is kind of sad because there are some spots back there that I didn't realize the water wasn't getting to very well. And here, this spot has tons and tons and tons of water, and it's not growing anything. You can see the kind of spacing I have between the blades of grass. So it's not a water issue anymore. It's just who knows. I have some cottonwoods coming up that I stuck the sticks in the ground, so they're doing good. That's what's in that cage. The potentilla always does well. It just seems to do fine without a lot of water. The raspberries are doing kind of okay. That rose bush is doing pretty good. So we had a few raspberries that are doing good, that I have enough fertility and enough water too. The wormwood. Also, if you have wormwood on your property, just know that it's not something you give very often. Once a month is how often you could give it to animals to worm them. It's not a feed plant, it's just a vermicide. And I really, really, really wish that this one would come back, but I don't think it's gonna. This is another mulberry. I'd really up the water on it, just hoping it would, but I don't think it's gonna. Anyway, so we're getting some fruit. The the Italian prune that I have in the front is doing well. The fruit is almost ripe. We've got horseradish coming up, volunteer, the nettles and the wormwood are happy. And that's all I guess I have to show for that.